A few years ago, I had an experience that made me question time and whether time could actually stop, and if prayers could intercede in saving lives and preventing injuries. In other words, it was one of these strange nights where I woke up at 3:30 in the morning and I sat up out of my bed because I had concerns for my daughter and for some reason some others involved, and I felt a need to pray. I looked at the clock and it was 3:30 in the morning. And I decided I'd sit up in my bed and I'd meditate, pray, and focus some love and light on her. And I did this for a while and opened my eyes again. I felt it'd been a good long time I was praying and meditating. I looked at the clock and it was still 3:30. The clock never changed. And I looked at it. The second hand was spinning around, but the minute hand and the hour hand on the face of the clock were still set at 3:30. I was wondering if my clock was broken or what was going on there. And I decided that I needed to spend more time in meditation and prayer for my daughter. I felt something was dangerous. Something was going to happen to her or others. And so I got back into my meditation and I meditated for what I felt was another hour or two. And when I opened my eyes, it was still 3:30. Second hand was still spinning around on the face of the clock, but the minute hand and the hour hand never moved. So I decided I didn't understand what was going on. So I decided just to keep meditating and meditating and prayed really intensely and asking for intervention in her life and picturing love and light around her. And when I opened my eyes, it was daylight in my room, and I got up and I started walking towards the clock, and the clock all of a sudden became 6:30. It moved, the hands all moved, and it went to 6:30 in the morning. I thought, wow, was the hands stuck all night? Then all of a sudden they opened up. And so a little while later, as I was downstairs having breakfast, my phone rang, and it was my daughter calling me about the experience that she just had at 6:30 in the morning, where she was driving down the freeway to go to her job, and the car in front of her, flipped out and was spinning across the freeway and across four lanes of freeway, missed all kinds of cars as it flipped around, and it was doing crazy things and burning tires and all this other stuff. And she pulled over, and the car that was spinning around stopped on the side of the road, and she was amazed that not only was she not injured or she didn't hurt her car in any way, but nobody else's cars was damaged, even though she was spinning out of control in commute traffic in early morning hours. And she thought it was truly amazing that there was a near accident just mere feet ahead of her, and nobody was injured. Nothing was damaged, including the driver in that car. And I kind of smiled to myself and told her my experience that morning of praying all night for her and sending her love and light, and the clock resetting at 6:30 that morning. I not sure if you can draw connections to all that, but I thought it was odd because when I walked through the rest of the house, all the other clocks had the correct time. They were all in sequence with my clock upstairs. And that phone, the call that I got just kind of verified it. All the clocks read the same, and the clock itself that I had trouble with never had that same trouble again. So the question is, did time and space stop and allow me to pray? Were my prayers answered? And did time actually stand still?